Hello. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? How y'all doing? I hope y'all having a good day because my day is going well, everything like that. And for this live stream, I will be talking about Marvel, DC, X-Men, what I think the X-Men universe can do, everything else like that, in my opinion. And for the intro, this is the intro right here. What's up? And kind of for me, talking about X-Men and Blade and stuff like that in the future of Marvel is kind of like for me, everything's like that. Kind of thing for me, which I know that deal with Marvel, DC, and everything else like that, and dealing with the future, dealing with X-Men is what's up, Barcode?
No.
If for this live stream shows that I gonna be talking about the X-Men franchise and stuff like that. What can Marvel do the X-Men franchise like in gaming, series and shows? Because thing about it, Marvel is in trouble without the X-Men, I think, in my opinion. And they kind of like the bad thing about it, it sounds like Marvel could have been introduced each members of the X-Men during this phase 4.
Yep.
If you, because that thing about it, if you look at it in No Way Home, they had a big old opening when the X-Men just could have went through and stuff like that, build a house or a mansion or something like that up in their world in this crossover because of No Way Home.
Okay.
But the bad thing about it, it seemed like the Ant-Man movie Quantum Realm still probably would have messed it up. Because like the Spider-Man movie, the Doctor Strange movie, or something like that, those two movies probably could bring the X-Men, I think, in my opinion, what it could have did. Because if you look at it, Wanda the Scarlet Witch, she's a mutant.
Yeah.
And when she was a mutant and stuff like that, doing all those stuff and up in the second Doctor Strange movie, I don't get why they couldn't bring the X-Men just during that time. They just try to stop her. Yeah. Because think about for me, that where I think that like bringing movies deal with the X-Men because think about it, that thing about the Avengers stuff, this just put that just to the side until no movies is finished and done with.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And they need because they must shoot, they didn't worry about Beast, they didn't worry about the original 5 of the X-Men first. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, nothing.
But the thing about it, if you look at it as a whole, this should have did, like, in my opinion, and that was me, this should do like phase 1. Just do the Doctor Strange movie.
Right.
Then the second Doctor Strange movie teach the X-Men at the end. Then after that movie, they could have did X-Men's 1 as the original 5 and stuff like that.
Yeah, going up for you.
The kind of thing for me, what I'm worried about is doing this picture right here. Shoot, I think the original 5 should be Cyclops, Storm, Jean, Beast, and Iceman. I think those should be the original 5. And you can bring an Angel, I think, as part of the 6th member, I think, something like that.
Yeah, for Angel, yeah.
we yeah, could look at Angel was from Angel was from Egypt, I think, something like that. Egypt, I think, something like his father was from Egypt, who used to guard Apocalypse, died or something, or got old.
Right.
The first mutant,
Right. Yeah.
because they had it that the up in the first original, the last Apocalypse or something like that. That bad movie. They had the angel
Yeah.
character, the one with the steel wings, and they had the other four horsemen. But if you look at it, the angel character is like a big old Omega 5 level mutant. If you look at it,
Yeah.
based on DNA, and plus Iceman, that Iceman is one of them Omega characters too. I think, in my opinion, that would have been like a good stuff. I think something I think, in my opinion,
Right.
because you look at Iceman and Angel, those two can solo most of the Marvel villains already, based on the weak villains that we got. And he
Yeah.
probably
Right.
could beat,
I was.
and he could beat Kane, which is kind of sad to say.
Yeah.
Because shoot,
Very
you
sad.
look at Iceman, they did bring Omega Level Iceman. Man, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Because you bring Omega Level Iceman, that's in the comic books, and you put him inside the MCU, Kang is dead. Kang is a
Yeah.
dead person. Because if you look at Ant-Man movie, the last one, he got beat by ants, which is kind of bad, but
Yeah.
which is a bad thing about him getting beat by such a simple thing, in my opinion. And that's just me, in my opinion, what I think. Because if you look at it, the writers that is writing that next
Who put
Avengers
in
movie,
effort to get this right? Yeah.
that because like the writer who wrote this Ant-Man movie, I'm kind of
He's
worried
gonna
about
then
if he gonna
have
change
to
a lot.
play
Yeah.
in for future movies, right? Yeah.
Yep, and they kind of like the thing about it is like, shoot, I'm kind of worried about is Kevin Feige just gonna watch over him if he gonna make sure that like he follows comic books and stuff like that, be, be, because them
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
because shoot, the thing about Marvel was I worry about their writing half the time.
Yeah.
Because you look at the Ant-Man movie compared to the other movies we got in Phase 1 and 2 and 3,
It's
it do
so
not
different.
seem, yeah, it's different.
Not the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the bad thing that I don't like half of the time just dealing with the Marvel movies, because thing for me, I like Phase 1, 2, and most of 3, but thing is when they got the Phase 4, that's when it seemed like the storytelling and they went political. I think in it, which was kind of a bad move in my opinion. What they did, the one thing that which I think they should be worrying about in Phase 4 and 5, they should be worrying about how they're gonna sell already content inside of movie theaters dealing with Disney
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because the thing about it, if you look at it, Disney never did a R-rated show or nothing or movie just under their brand. It just been Fox that did it, and that's the only reason why the first Deadpool made money. It just because it was a Fox product instead of a Disney product, which is kind of sad but true. Everything like that that's dealing with Disney, but
Yeah.
that's kind of like a bad thing. And dealing with the X-Men stuff, right? If they're doing I'm not sure about which run they're using and stuff like that. That's dealing with the X-Men because we know like deal with runs on Marvels and stuff like that. It was
Right.
some good ones and some bad ones. But if I was Marvel, I'll be using the just some of the Uncanny X-Men, the one with the original five, the big old Uncanny X-Men in the 90s, and
yeah,
and and some of the early 2000s. That should be a good thing.
yeah,
And they could follow the format just for X-Men's one. They did it was a Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. But the thing is, just instead of putting X on Wolverine the first one, I will wait to tease him just at the end of the movie.
yeah,
That's what I would do. The deal Wolverine. Because think about the first movie of X-Men, you need to establish the other X-Men before you put in Wolverine. That is my opinion about it. Because you just can't put Wolverine in a movie, in the first X-Men movie, and expect the rest of them to get shine, because that's what it won't happen like that.
yeah, right,
But we seen up in there what happened when you don't build up Wolverine and you just put him in. The fans is coming different Wolverine without you flush out the characters of other stories and stuff like that.
yeah,
And stuff like that. That's what I learned dealing with them. And and kind of like the other bad thing about it, which I know about um the Marvel people in the MCU, they're fickle. MCU
yeah,
fans don't got a standard. Be, because the thing about how I know that the MCU people don't got standards, we know up in the MCU and stuff like that, it's like all them series and movies wasn't good, but they still put it to it though. But they still put everything on it. I say, God, though, because you tried to tell me, you tried to tell me that you give Ant-Man and Quantum Realm a B minus. That's what you telling me.
what?
And
It's
you know
not
what
going to
that
be like no, that's right.
people was capping for this movie, bro, on TikTok. Because think about it, people were giving them was B's, B pluses. I say, excuse me,
What? It's not
they
very good, to be honest.
they was giving it B pluses and stuff, man. And I was mad when I was hearing that because I'm looking at them from my
It was
TikTok
about to
thing
be I'd give a C
because
for that.
yeah, because the thing about it, I wanted to comment under this section, but the thing is, I
They
know
got the
how
zero.
TikTok creators is. Some
Yeah,
of them TikTok creators is sensitive. They will try to show your comic and say that you don't know what you're talking about, stuff like that, and some of them sensitive and stuff like that. If you don't follow
yeah,
their opinion, which I know some of them is, and especially some of them comic book creators, if you try to put a different opinion out there onto the comment section, they get mad at you and just want to block you
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
That's the reason why right there I just don't comment on everybody posts and stuff like that they put up, because then by if you do, if
they're going to attack you about for it.
if you do and puts it different from else, that they would think that you be the one to be hating, which I keep on saying. I said, why you think I be hating? I just try to put my opinion down up in the
Opinion on it
nicest way
because I
possible,
want, yeah, to
and that's
recommend the
kind of like
movies. Like,
yeah, because think about it, shoot, that's the reason why I like the Power Ranger fandom most of the time, Power Ranger and DC fandom, because think about
yeah,
Power Rangers and DC people, they will accept criticism and just don't think you hating most of the time. It, because the thing about DC people, they always accept the negative with the positive. You know what they say? Okay, it
yeah,
is the good things about the movie and the bad things about the movie most of the time that they be seeing.
yeah,
You know, and plus I'm cool with it and stuff like that, in my opinion. And did you see the first episode just of the Battle Fury thing? The Battle
yeah,
Fury. episode?
Yeah.
Did, did y'all like the first one?
Yeah. Interesting for the story.
Yeah, shoot. I'm waiting on episode 2 script to come out now and stuff like
Okay.
that. Because they might, I listened to it too about 3 or 4 times and stuff like that, just to try to get the feel of the movie or the script and stuff like that. And just what the second
Right.
episode might be.
Okay.
Because you look at the Power Rangers universe, on the first 2 episodes usually be like in human form most of the time
Right.
when you training and not morphing most of the time, which I actually accept anyway. Because if you look at it as a Power Ranger and stuff like that, you're supposed to test yourself outside the suit in order to earn the right to morph and stuff like that.
Right. Before we had power. Yeah.
Yeah, but you look at the Marvel universe, it seems like people just getting powers and not even earning it. And they like OP, and especially that girl up in American Chavez, she was beating down Wanda. I said, what did she learn how to, because she wasn't training in no martial arts. So last time training how to fight in a, I checked, learn arts. It takes you at least about 3 weeks, I think, at the most, if you gift it. I think 3 weeks to 3 months just to learn the basic stuff. And think about shoot, not even Jackie Chan and Jet Li learn that fast, and they masters. And plus, you telling me that this girl learned it less than a week? Man, this girl must be. And like the bad thing about it, something like that, is like they didn't even bring back the original Quicksilver that puts me up in the MCU. They brought in Fox Quicksilver. I said, that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you finna bring back Quicksilver, don't bring back the one that's in the Fox universe. Because think about it, when you do that, you open up the door for everybody else to come back that's in the Fox universe, bad and good, and stuff like that.
Yep.
And kind of like the bad thing about it, and just when the variant stuff had came up, different MCU and stuff like that, I was hoping that the Quicksilver that wasn't Ultron was coming back because of that little rift in the hole and stuff like that, everything like that.
Yeah.
Because that spell had rewind time and stuff like that, and that would make sense. Just for Quicksilver to be able to save the boy and save himself at the same time.
Yeah.
And that would have made more sense. And now he playing Kraven the Hunter, I think, the person that played Quicksilver. Kraven the Hunter, and he playing Kraven the Hunter. That means that he probably gonna hunt down Tom Holland Spider-Man, which I don't get the reason why. Because think about it never showed that Tom Holland Spider-Man actually did something for him to be able to do stuff every time and hunt him down, which don't make sense in my opinion. But everybody different though on that. And kind of like the other thing that I hope that the MCU could do is figure out how, in my opinion, if they want to do it, they got to figure out how to bring in bring in Magneto, bring in Sabretooth. Then they bring in the Brotherhood too. Beside the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because thing for me, if you are bringing the Brotherhood, man, sure, you got to be good to bring in the Brotherhood. And you got the cast, man, sure, you got the cast Magneto and Sabretooth good, because that's what if you don't tag those two, as good, oh man, you
Their
be in trouble
cemetery story. Yeah. The
because
first
that
one did
mess up.
all part. They can transfer.
Yeah, because the thing about it, if they bring back Hugh Jackman, right, as Wolverine, they say in the future, that means that they got to bring in the older Sabretooth that was in the Fox universe too.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think that they should do, in my opinion, and stuff like that. And kind of like the MCU deal with X-Men and stuff like that. If they got to deal with the X-Men, I think that Mr. Sinister might be in the background too of the MCU that's doing stuff.
Yeah.
Because they for me, if they bring in Mr. Sinister or if they bring in Apocalypse, they're building those two up because they in the MCU. The MCU is kind of mixing based
Yeah.
on their story choices. Because think about for me, if I was them, I would deal with Mr. Sinister first, since he a simpler villain to deal with. Story wise,
Right.
Mr. Sinister easier just than Apocalypse. Because think about it, if they gotta do the Apocalypse storyline first, they gotta go back to Egypt, they gotta go back in time, they gotta make prequels and everything else like that in time for stories,
Right.
everything like that,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
expand
Definitely.
Apocalypse. Because think about for me, you deal with Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is already a set bad guy. He already got set henchmen and villain stuff like that to send to the X-Men already, in my opinion. If
Yeah.
if they not going Mr. Sinister, they might do the Sentinel program as
Right.
the first couple of movies. I think something like that. In the
Mm-hmm.
first couple of movies, they could have the X-Men versus the Sentinels and stuff like
Right.
that. But think about for that, for them to have that, it seemed like, in my opinion, that they got to have two movies in order to fight the Sentinels, just to have more people to be able to fight them.
Right. Yeah.
Be, because you can't beat the Sentinels just with five people unless you got Skyclops that's already fully trained. That's the only way you
Right.
probably can do it.
Yeah.
Because then for me, if that's the young Skyclops, that's gonna be a problem. That if you try to get him to fight Sentinels without training and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like the other thing that I hope that if I can do the X-Men is bring in the Phoenix Force and deal with the Phoenix power and stuff like that, and just try to
Right.
change genes like the good from bad, deal with the Phoenix saga. That could be like
Yeah.
a good first three movies, I think, something like that. If you deal with Jean first, I think, in my opinion, because them
Right.
other bad guys is too hard for them to deal with beginning,
Right.
in my opinion. Because
Yeah.
them thing about for me, if I was them, I would deal with the Phoenix on the Phoenix saga, deal with Jean Grey and stuff like that after the
Yeah.
first movie, and then and she should start off like kind of younger, I think, or kind of like in between, and they want to deal with that.
Yeah.
And but the bad thing about this is, if they got to bring in Illuminati, like they said is, they got in Iron Man and put a Black Panther. I hate to
Yeah.
say it like that. If you got to bring in
Yeah.
Illuminati,
Definitely.
because you can't bring Shuri inside that Illuminati, because she was getting beat up by Neymar, and he was a beginner, and that Neymar wasn't even a fully powered Neymar, and she was getting beat and stuff like that. And she wasn't even using her brain at first during the fight.
Yeah. For
Because the thing about for me now, and that was me. I fight Neymar. I would have tried to figure out his weakness. I would have tried to draw him into the desert and stuff like that and fight him, because that's what, if you look
right.
at it, if you
He's
look
just
at
one. Right.
yeah, you find a water person like him, Yeah, that would work with Neymar, but with Aquaman, that jump will work with him.
Yeah. Just like thinking about Aquaman, just use Sam to advantage for it.
Yeah, because you look at Aquaman, his body just store water inside his body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
His body store water, and he pretty much keep it inside his suit and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And kind of the other thing about Neymar and what they should have did that should have did with Neymar, I think some of that it should be a lot better. I think some of that did with Neymar character.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because could think about it, they changed the name into Namor. I said, wait a minute now, your name is not Namor. Your name is Neymar.
No.
I said, God,
Neymar.
dog. I I hated
Why
that jump.
change it?
I hated it.
Just keep it like in the comics. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what wrong with the comics though? What's wrong with going by source material anymore?
It's good. It's
And
good reference. What?
yeah, because if you look at it, people go to the theaters to look at source material. Now looking at that, I say, I did not can look at Black Panther 2 for you to change the name of a character that I was hyped to look at for a long time.
Yeah.
To be like the Marvel the on the Marvel equivalent to Aquaman. You know what I say? Shoot, man, the DCU Aquaman is beating this Neymar.
Yeah.
Even shuts our drunk Aquaman is beating this Neymar, man, because this Neymar got beat by a beginner.
Yeah.
If you look at it, he got beat by a person he at the beginner. That person wasn't even an experienced fighter. I said, God, duh, man, you can't knock her out. At least knock her out.
Yeah.
Man, just knock her out and help your arm out. That's it. I would have been good with that. But shucks, I would keep on seeing him getting beat. I said, what in the world going on? He keep on getting beat. He keep on getting beat down and stuff like that. I said, wait a minute, now what wrong with this?
Yeah.
I saw that fight. I said, wait a minute now. He was winning, and he should have won that fight. I think, in my opinion, though,
Right.
he he should have won that fight, and she should have got help just by a Kiwi or something like that. Her bodyguard
Right. Yeah.
just kept Neymar distracted just until she get up and figure out just how to beat him just by drying him off and just by beating him just by
Yeah.
heat wave punches. Because if you look at that, just how he lost because he was dehydrated. I said, how man, that just don't make no sense.
That's so. Yeah.
Because that's what you look at the Neymar the comic books. The Neymar the comic books didn't
Tiger.
how to get dehydrated like that. He didn't.
Nope.
He like to fight people. He like to start stuff half the time and kind of like people probably can tease Aquaman all they want to and joke on him, everything like that. But that's what you know us saw an Aquaman just got beat by no heat and stuff like that
Yeah.
and just get dehydrated. Because you look at the Aquaman movie that Black Manta really tried to kill him with heat wave, remember?
Yeah.
That up in the Aquaman chase scene with Aquaman, and he starts shooting him uh, uh, with some heat waves and stuff like that, but it didn't work. But with Neymar in this
Yeah.
movie, shoot, Black Manta
Right.
probably kill him.
Yeah.
Because you look at a bloodlust Black Manta, should we talk about bloodlust that Black Manta that was getting prepared to kill just to kill Aquaman. He was actually prepared to kill Aquaman. I say, God,
Yeah.
no. And plus, that's why he's still gonna beat Aquaman based on Aquaman actually think during the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like the bad reason, like it sounds like Black Manta changed to a villain because I think about his father was a crook and stuff and robbed ships. I said, why? Why are you mad at Aquaman just for saving people and y'all was the one that started that whole thing and robbing him? and stuff like that. And he would have let him live if you look at the Aquaman movie, Aquaman was gonna let the father live, but the father had shot that on that spear at him. I say, God, dog, I was mad at that though. I saw that scene. I say, why is you shooting a spear at Aquaman that's after Aquaman give you a chance to live? I said, God damn. And plus the other thing about it, which I think it could be good or bad or something like that, is like in the X-Men's, sure they might need to bring in my opinion, they might need to bring in how can I say this?
Right.
Shucks. If they could bring in Jubilee and Wolverine the second one. Jubilee, Wolverine, and Gambit. Those add those three in the second X-Men movies. And they can add Colossus in the first one and stuff like that.
Right.
Me what's up, multiverse?
So is there anything else you didn't tell her about the party? Yeah, Lisa.
I'm hanging in there.
It's other thing that they should do deal with X-Men, I think in my opinion,
That is so
if
right.
they could oh you good, multiverse? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm doing the best that I can.
Okay.
Yeah,
And kind of like
but I
multiverse
I need to keep doing stuff like this to distract me and keep working on being the creator that I am.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
understand what
sure.
I'm
I
saying?
do this too. Yeah. Yeah, because shoot, I do this live stream to keep myself distracted too and
Yeah.
stuff like that and talk with people that who got disagreements with me and stuff like that. I just tell people if you're on my channel, if you got a disagree with me, then shucks. I live stream just about 3 or 4 times a week, I think something like that. Just for
Well,
anybody.
you know, I have to balance that with food. You know this.
Yeah. If multiverse, do you think as the X-Men franchise coming to the MCU,
People have been speculating about that for a
yeah,
while because Scarlet Witch was the first uh, one that was actually introduced as being a mutant.
yeah, it was Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
And
Those
Scarlet
two
Witch.
was in Ultron, and that way everybody thought that the X-Men was coming after they saw those two.
Yep.
And kind of like and do you think that the MCU is bringing Wolverine in the first X-Men movie or the second one?
I say if they want to play it correctly,
Yeah,
let's not bring Wolverine right away. I'd say at least give it a couple. Well, Wolverine's gonna be in Deadpool 3, and that's
yeah,
part of an entire different universe.
yeah. But that was me. I would bring in Wolverine inside the second X-Men movie and not the first
Yeah,
one. And
right.
I
Which
just would tease them.
would be really good idea.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I just would tease them at the end of the first X-Men movie just to get everybody hyped for the
Yeah.
second one.
Well, you
And
gotta also understand that Wolverine's still a fan favorite for a lot that enjoyed the character because
oh yeah,
his backstory is kind of made a lot of fans root for him.
yeah. But the countdown for me, sure, I still wouldn't put him in the first X-Men movie though. That just me. I
Yeah,
wouldn't do that.
don't get me wrong. There were some things about the first X Men movie that I didn't like, but
Yeah,
but
yeah, it was.
it still holds a good piece in of my heart.
What did you
Yeah,
do?
yeah, because like the thing for me, in my opinion, what I would do and stuff like that, time for X-Men, everything like that, it's like shoot, uh, I would have the original 5 or 6 members inside the
Yeah.
first X-Men movie, and then you bring in Wolverine, Jubilee, and Gambit in the second movie.
Yeah.
And that what everybody, in my opinion, is kind of like missing a piece because if you look at it in the 90s, they always had Gambit as part of the team later on down the line, besides Wolverine.
Yeah. I remember.
Because you look at the X Men's team, just the only two that was rogue most of the time was Gambit and Wolverine. Those was the two rogue X Men's people that was in between killing and not killing most of the time.
Yeah.
And that when people soon to like forget, in my opinion, that it's not actually the it's not actually people. I think in my opinion actually bad, but um and kind of like the bad thing, which I think in my opinion could be good, but everybody different on that.
Yep.
And based on the X-Men's, because you look at the X-Men's, those two always been like in my opinion, they've always been bad. The third X-Men movie wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best to end the franchise and stuff like that. It wasn't the best one. And plus, like the X-Men First Class was actually a good movie that I actually liked. I like that one. The X-Men First Class movie. And kind of like the person who made X-Men First Class, um, X-Men First Class, X-Men's Future Past, those two would sound like the best out the modern stuff, I think in my opinion. That would be a good thing. They put it better, I think in my opinion, but everybody different.
Yeah.
And kind of like the other thing, which I think time for like the X Men's movies, they need to make it serious and don't make it all comedy. Just
Right.
like they
The
normally
only
film.
comic one that they will have is like Deadpool,
Yeah,
but Deadpool always had his funny
yeah.
side.
Mm-hmm. Because then, like, if you look at the Marvel, like making this stuff funny, I say you can't make all the characters funny all the time because you got to make some serious stuff like you did with the Captain America series. And didn't they learn from that the Captain America stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, everything else like that.
Well, Captain America was a super soldier. He wasn't a mutant or anything.
Yeah, but the thing I mean, what I learned about the Captain America always been a serious character, and it kind of like the bad thing about it seems like Marvel is scared to go serious most of the time. They're scared to go serious, which is kind of like the bad thing about it, which I don't like. Because think about it, you supposed to be a serious character, man. You supposed to be able to bring it
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You supposed to be a serious character, man, and you can't even bring it. You can't even write serious scripts. You got to put a joke on it, and kind of like every character that is associated with the Captain America franchise, they got the best shows. They got the best shows besides on Doctor Strange, and put the first Black Panther that was later on.
Can't break through the ground from here. We need to get up higher.
But you
Maybe
look
it's
at as
something.
But you look at some of the franchise I think Marvel could make better is Blade and kind of Marvel. I'm kind of worried about that movie now. I worry about that Blade movie because the writers done changed and stuff like that. The writers done changed dealing with the Marvel movies and stuff like that. And that's kind of like in my opinion, that's kind of bad. But that's kind of bad. Just making like the bad Marvel movies and stuff like that. I say, God,
Well, and I'll say this: my birthday is actually going to be happening this weekend.
oh, okay,
Yep, April 3rd is your buddy's is your buddy's birthday.
oh shit. What y'all doing for y'all birthday?
Well, uh, I got WrestleMania to watch, and my brother is gonna be
Okay,
coming to see me.
all right, all right. Dude, that's a good birthday present, though. It looking at WrestleMania on that day too and
Yep,
stuff.
April. Well, my birthday has always fell during WrestleMania season.
Yeah, yeah, and kind of
Well,
like the bad. Because think about it, if you notice that just doing WrestleMania and stuff like that, they
yep.
got Sami Zayn and him getting along. I say, didn't you ever learn that Kevin Owens can't be trusted? Come on now.
I know, but it's just how they want to do it.
But the thing about it, it make no sense. Why would you trust Kevin Owens of all people to be friends with? Because you see Kevin Owens down beat you down time after time. I say, God, duh. I just be mad. I just be mad at the writing sometimes. I say sometimes now you didn't have to break up Sami Zayn and the Usos really. That's doing that run and stuff like that. Because if you look at it, it could have had Kevin Owens, Sheamus, and the Brutes go against the Usos at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and that would have been a good WrestleMania match. I don't get how people don't get that.
Uh,
Because
yeah, I know what you're talking about, and believe me, I do. But it just happens that way sometimes, and yeah,
because you notice like WWE had break up people just for factions before, and their career wasn't never the same after that. That after they break up tag teams and stuff like that, and their careers never be the same and stuff like that. Because you look at the on the New Day stay together, and they became about 14 or 15 time tag teams. The Usos stay together. They became a successful tag team and stuff like that. The Profits, they need more tag teams inside that division.
yeah,
I
they
think, in my opinion, because they need tag teams though. Because think about it, without the tag team division in WWE, that jump me bad and stuff like that. Be the tag team society, WWE, and they need more. They need more championships inside. They need more championships inside the women's division too. Because you look at the female division, they need a United States title, and they need a United States title. They need an intercontinental title
yep,
and stuff like that.
I totally agree on that.
And thing about for me, it sounds like Stephanie, a man who puts me over the female division. Why did she ever think
Yeah,
of that? That's why I don't get. Because she want the males to be like she want the females to have the same respect as the males. But the thing is, you don't even add the same amount of championships inside that division in order for them to get the shine to it. Everything like that. And you can still have Bianca Belair as the head championship person and stuff like that. as the ladies WWE championship person, everything like that. But the thing about it, they can add at United States and Intercontinental and put that tag team. I think, in my opinion, that'd be good. I think, in my opinion, and for like the tag team division, just for the males, they already got one for Raw. They got one for SmackDown, which is actually good.
Yeah, but Jimmy and Jay Uso are the current tag team champions.
Yeah, but they earned them championships though. It was actually hard for
Yep.
them to earn those two championships. Right. Because if you, it was New Day just for a while that was holding. It was, and somebody else I think too was holding them before they got there. Because if you look at it, they had a championship for a while, but they didn't had like the run or the reputation to do it before the bloodline, and
Yeah.
kind of like for them having the bloodline actually hold their they got this championship stuff. I think, in my opinion, actually was like a stamp of approval as them being as just them being the dominant tag team on Raw. Because they were, from me, just having them as they actually brought more storyline to the tag team division. If you look at it, because they brought out Montez Ford as part of Street Profits, they brought out the Brutes, they brought out Academy. These were Otis and Gabe. If you look at it, the bloodline really is bringing up the just the best out the tag teams and stuff like that. If they don't get it, because like the bloodlines, because the New Day, I like the New Day, but the thing is, the New Day wasn't given just the new tag teams shine. I think, in my opinion, was doing their run, everything like that, and dealing with the championship runs and stuff like that. Because if you look at the runs there with the championship, that the Usos really was defending it against some of the best tag and stuff like that. His son, they locked down the New Day. They locked down some of the best tag team champions and stuff like that. The New Day, that just out a 2-3 run, and that was, some people forget sometimes, that the Usos, Roman Reigns actually brought some stars out just doing his run as champion and stuff like that. If you look at it, because that's what he brought out. Drew McIntyre. He brought out Sheamus. He brought out Braun Strowman.
I'm happy that they have Cody Rhodes. So I heard there's rumors speculating after WrestleMania that Roman's gonna take a break for it.
That don't make sense.
Well, see, Roman is gonna actually lose the belt though at WrestleMania.
That don't make sense based on taking a break, because that's what he was taking. He don't be there
Cody Rhodes
for about 2 or 3 weeks.
He's been put
2 weeks at a time.
What exactly?
He's on that title for 3 years now.
Just put the key into that little
but the problem with that is Cody Rhodes been there longer than Roman most of the time.
Yeah,
before Roman got there.
Yeah.
give that drum a good loud strike.
But the thing about for me, if you look at some of the things Cody Rhodes was a United States champion. He was champion at AEW. He did more already than Roman Reigns did in 3 years already. He did more.
Yeah.
And the thing about Cody, I like him, but the thing is, I wouldn't have give the title to him. That's just me. Not to him. This should have a tournament or something like that. Just who should get the titles and stuff like that. And he take a break and stuff like that. This should do it like a tribal thing, something like they want to see Roman Reigns as a tribe or something like that.
Yeah.
Just after he defended and stuff like that. Because like the culture of the big old Samoans and stuff like that, they did with tribes. They can do it like that, or they can have The Rock come back and actually fight Roman Reigns and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I just me and my because then like if you look at it, The Rock will do it as long as you give him the time to train and get ready for a match. Because you look at it, he did it for John Cena, he did it for CM Punk, and kind of like The Rock is willing to put people over as long as you get him to get him a good storyline to do it. Because that's just me. That's what I think he would do. And kind of like The Rock is not really like a mean superstar though, in my opinion. And kind of like for the time for the ladies division need Oscar's pretty good. I like Oscar. I like Bianca Belair. Charlotte Flair be getting too many chances in my opinion. She do get too many chances in my opinion because they like because like people be like defending her. I say I like Charlotte Flair as a wrestler. She's a good wrestler, everything like that. But come on now, but man, we got to give somebody new a chance sometimes too. Just give her a chance. Just give somebody new a chance. It's not like Liv Morgan and stuff like that. If they could give it like Liv Morgan a chance or something like that, just to like succeed.
Well, have you been liking the way that Liv has been put in her work, Liv Morgan?
Yeah. I like her. She kind of my new favorite. I like just over the wrestling thing, just over the last year.
Well, she definitely, and tell truth, she's done really good as in like making, and she works well with others too.
Yeah, and kind of like me and Shayna Baszler, I like her too because she know how to change personality onto the face, the villain, the heel. She know how to change character. I like her.
Yeah,
I like her as a whole.
Change the things choose. If you could.
Because like the thing for me now, what I'll be seeing like I'm dealing with female wrestlers is sound like that when you give the first wrestlers a chance to actually like succeed, I think new ones just with a good story that people will actually like them. But you got to give them a good story though. That's what I like. And then did it bring back it did want to beat Roman Reigns. I think then they bring back Jason Jordan. I think in my opinion
Jason Jordan would be a good one. But I heard Randy Orton's coming back. too.
I like Randy, but the thing is, Randy is not the best one to take out Orton. He's
Yeah,
not the right one
I'm,
to
I'm, I'm 4 years younger than you.
sound like
Wow.
I would he would do good up at tag team championship or some kind of
Yeah.
intercontinental or United States championship. But the thing is, I wouldn't give it to him as the WWE champion unless Roman Reigns hurt or something like that. Or they could get a championship just as a bloodline and make that and just make the challenger just have to beat all 3 or 4 members of the bloodline just to get to the championship. You know what I mean? If Roman Reigns gone, that on the challenger got to beat Jimmy, Jay, and plus Soa Super. All 3 of them.
So, yeah.
And that would be like a good challenge and a good story just for anybody to do it, which I think in my opinion they could, but I'm not sure if they would though. All that stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
I totally agree with that.
and kind of like the breakfast for me that could beat Roman with challenges is Bobby Lashley. That's the only person that I probably could think of them actually doing it is Bobby Lashley. Because if you look at it, Bobby Lashley is used to beating people who try to jump him and stuff like that. Because you remember the Hurt Business, and he beat Almost already. Bobby Lashley, he
Yeah,
could be on, and he
same
could beat.
same with what's the name? Braun Strowman.
Yeah, and he beat Braun Strowman already though.
Yeah.
But the fight was hard. It will be good to see that again though. It will be good to see that again. It will be good to see though, just to see him, just to see him fight Roman Reigns again. That'd be a good fight, I think, in my opinion. And just put it inside a steel cage when nobody just can interfere and stuff like that, and just force Roman Reigns to have to defend it, and that'd be a real good thing, I think, in my opinion. Which I think, in my opinion, that should be a good thing. In my opinion, though, if they can do that, because you look at it, the match gonna be hard, grueling, with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman inside his cage. Man, that gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna what match are you excited for WrestleMania? If you don't mind my
I'm excited for the tag team matches. The tag team match.
Yeah.
That on the Usos versus.
Oh, I'm excited for the Edge and Finn Balor Hell in Cell match too.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. It's on the Edge matches on.
Edge is gonna be it's gonna be a Hell in Cell match.
Yeah, because then with me, I was Edge. I would have a backup plan because you know that Priest and Ripley might be trying to try something.
Well, Rhea is dealing with Charlotte.
Oh,
Dominic
okay.
is dealing with Ray. So Judgment Day's focus is actually kind of
Split.
like kind of lost in translation, I guess you could say.
Okay. Okay. Sure, that's kind of a good thing. I think, in my opinion, like have everything split, which I think, in my opinion, which actually good. But the thing about it, that some people might not like it, but the thing about me, in my opinion, which I think could be good or bad, and stuff like that. Like in my opinion, dealing with the bloodline stuff like that. Shoot, I think Jay Uso and Jimmy is going to retain, but it's gonna be hard. But just I think the whole bloodline just might retain, and they might be looking at Ahsoka, I think Asuyo, I think something like that, to get a championship soon. Yeah. And the thing about that, just that Money in the Bank contract isn't back too. That's the problem. Be, because the thing is like somebody actually tried cashing in the Money in the Bank on Roman Reigns, but that's what the Usos actually beat them up. You remember last time somebody that because thing about it, if you try to if you win a Money in the Bank contract with the Usos and the Bloodline in it, shucks, man, you just want to wait that whole year because you're not getting that championship. And that was some people fail to realize sometimes. It sounds like the Bloodline, because like for me, in my opinion, stuff like that is like shoot the Bloodline, everything like that is actually good. And they shouldn't break them up. I think, in my opinion, breaking them up will be like a bad idea. I think, in my opinion, it's breaking up and just breaking up the Bloodline, breaking up Jay, Ahsoka, Suya, all that. Because if you look at it, Hulk Hogan and NWO, the Dudley Boys, they never broke up, and they had a real good career, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And plus, the New Day, they didn't never break up, and they have a real good career too, because they were champion and stuff like that. I said, oh man. And kind of like in my opinion, they need to have a king, some kind of King of the Ring tournament at WrestleMania. I think, in my opinion, just having the King of the Ring just in a Monday night after or 2 weeks after WrestleMania will be a good thing. So that because you look at it, some of the world champions was actually King of the Ring. Booker T won King of the Ring, and he won the WWE title, the heavyweight title, and stuff like that. And he had a good run there too.
Booker T is a Hall of Famer too.
Yeah, and plus he took it to the T too, the King of the Ring thing too. He took it, he ran with it, and he made a real good career out of it too, and stuff like that. Because, like, in my opinion, stuff like that, when you look at the King of the Ring titles, I said, oh man, it was actually a whole lot of people who actually won King of the Ring and actually became an intercontinental United States title, tag team titles with their partners and stuff like that. That's actually a good thing. And plus, multiverse. And do you think that that the Mandalorian might be trying to change might be trying to bring the Mando people back to rock prevalence, I think.
Probably.
Because if you look at it, that Grogu, he not going nowhere. So we know that Grogu ain't going nowhere, and plus he know that Grogu is not a baby, but he just 50 years old. And kind of like, in my opinion, if you try to explain to people is that Grogu is 50 years old and stuff like that, and people still be telling me but Grogu looks so cute. I say he won't be looking so cute if he forced choking and stuff like that. And because that they bringing in just a new person to take Gina Carano part as the Ranger, I think, something like that, and stuff like that in the Mandalorian show. They bring back somebody else to play her part, Gina Carano part. I don't know how they're doing it, but it is. And kind of like the other thing I'm worrying about is something like the Blade movie. Which version of Blade is they bringing and stuff like that? Because if you look at Marvel, Marvel don't do so good with vampires because you made Blade 3 was the worst out the three, and that was made with Marvel help, and that was the worst one. Because you saw the first two Blade movies actually good. The first two Blade movies was the best, but the third movie was made with Marvel help and stuff like that, and that didn't turn out so good for like the movie story and stuff like that because they wanted to bring in the Whistlers people, they wanted to bring in Abigail and stuff like that, the Night Stalkers, as everybody call them, the Blade Universe call them the Night Stalkers or something like that kill vampires. I say all these people got it. I say, oh man, that just get on my nerves half of the time. That just get on my nerves because we all know they're dealing with the Blade series, the Blade universe. It got to be R rated and stuff. And they try to tell us also, we can make Blade up in a different way, but it's not R rated. I say you tried that just with Blade 3. It didn't turn out good as the story and some of that y'all were telling. It wasn't good for Blade 3. I don't get how Marvel didn't learn their lesson just after the first two. And that's what I don't get. Because shoot, that's always man, that would be a bad thing. I think my opinion sound like they need to learn how to, in my opinion, they need to embrace characters that's R rated, in my opinion. Because the other thing about it seemed like that that they're not touching Ghost Rider either, and that's the bad thing because I said you bring in mutants, you're not bringing Ghost Rider. That make no sense. Because you see people like the Midnight Suns game with the Midnight Suns, they got Ghost Rider, they got Wolverine, they got Captain America, Hulk, every other character that's in a video game is doing better than Marvel, which is a bad thing. And that would get on my nerves. I said, how can a video game make a better? They make a better thing to it, in my opinion. And that's a bad thing, in my opinion, stuff like that. That's bad.
Perhaps we reach this creature's tail.
And that's kind of like the bad thing, in my opinion. I said, how? How could you not do this? I said, come on, I feel, man. Man, that junk get on my nerves. I said, really? That junk getting on my nerves half the time. I said, why did you not make good Ghost Rider movies? Because the first Rider movie was okay, the second one was cool, but the thing about it up in the MCU, why don't they touch the Ghost Rider characters like a Ghost Rider? They try Moon Knight, but just they don't even try to make it R rated and stuff like that. They just made like a PG-13 show. If you notice, like like the Moon Knight show, Moon Knight sound like Batman, and then this me in my opinion, and he sound like Batman. And why don't y'all show him fighting and fight crimes on the street and stuff like that? And he's supposed to be the Marvel Batman, as everybody say now. That what everybody be saying to me.
Yeah.
Is that the Moon Knight supposed to be the Marvel version of Batman? But that's what I look at the show. I don't see it. I don't see it though. I do not see it in my opinion.
I would say, if anything, he would be similar to that. You've heard of Dark Horse is the Phantom, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
something
Oh,
similar to that. I would place it. Moon Knight.
but the thing about for me, right? Like on TikTok, YouTube, and stuff like that. Every time, every every time Moon Knight come up, they always say Batman. They always say he comparing himself to Batman. I say, so I see Batman, I see Moon Knight. On both of them is different characters, and we can't even compare the two if we try. And people capping real hard too for half of the characters too. And Marvel, you keep on saying Marvel characters could be DC. Man, they lying, bro. They lying and stuff like that. It's actually a bad thing, in my opinion. And kind of like the other thing, in my opinion, which I like I like doing Marvel to do what I like to do. It's like I want to see how Marvel just will handle Blade enemies that's in the Marvel universe because you know what I mean. It's not like the Blade universe and stuff like that, like Frost, Dracula, and other bat-like characters and vampires that actually kill people. I would like to see how Marvel handle the R-rated characters, and stuff like that, which I'll be seeing. Be- Because then for me, right, if they can make R-rated characters good, like this Deadpool 3 movie is gonna be my measuring stick just for the rest of the MCU, in my opinion. Because this me, if that Deadpool 3 movie is not good, oh man, I got me mad. I got me mad. And this Deadpool movie is not like the comic books somewhat, because you look at the first Deadpool movie is the first best one, but the second one just cool. But this Deadpool would need to be good, in my opinion. Because they might not like me doing it, but it's how it is, though. Seem like most of the time. And like the other thing, in my opinion, which I like seeing that's done with the MCU, because the thing about me and my opinion that do you think the Blade movie is gonna be good for Marvel?
Did you say something about the Dungeon and Dragons movie?
I got to look at that one. Was it good?
I'm actually kind of curious about that too.
Be, be, because this D&D movie probably could start a franchise or a series, because if that movie make enough money, they probably could put series on Netflix and HBO and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Sound like is like we see it online. Sound like elves, druids, and stuff like that. If if they could actually bring like D&D players and actually put them on TV, that'd be a good thing. I think, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I have to agree on that. Well, Chris Pine's playing a role in that too, and the last
Yeah.
movie that we saw him in was Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, he was good in Wonder Woman though.
Yeah,
And and,
I'm not
and
dogging on his credentials or anything.
oh
I
yeah,
just like him, and I also liked him in Star Trek, the newer ones.
oh yeah. And kind of like, in my opinion, when you look at the franchise stuff like that, Sonic D&D, it's a lot of D&D series which could be movies. If you look at online enough,
Oh, yeah,
it's a lot of them that could be series and movies and stuff like that. and they could ask the actors to play him. That actually D&E role playing him. I think, in my opinion, because that's just me. In my opinion, I would do, because that's what I just was a director. I would ask the people that actually play the role that's doing that D&D screen, and just pay them to play the
Yeah.
character on the screen, because that'd be easier than you try to pay actors and you try to tell them how to act and stuff like that. If you got the D&D people right there that actually do it, that's easier, I think, in my opinion. And the thing about, for me, if shoot, if you bring back like other franchise like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that,
Yeah.
people don't like the Lord of the Rings series that much. Well, I've been hearing some like special effects good and stuff like that, but the people don't like the story and stuff like that, which make me think also if it's something else wrong with it, something like that. So, because I'm trying to figure out, is the special effects good, the background good? Sure, I'm just trying to figure out what's the problem, and that's kind of the thing I got. And kind of like in Wonder Woman 2, right? Everybody probably Wonder Woman 2 was talking some Chris Pine was in another person's body. I say, do you know that the gods in Wonder Woman is actually was a mischievous god in the first place? That what gods do, some of them. And kind of like everybody keep on saying, talk some of them smells body. I say, that was Chris Pine inside that person's body. That was that looking for a second chance. But the thing is, that wasn't the real him though.
Right.
Because if you look at it as a whole, the only person that can bring back the real person is Athena and Zeus in Greek there,
Yeah.
and some African history do it too. But the comic book thing, I would say Zeus, in my opinion. That should be a good thing, in my opinion, about that. And kind of like, do you think that Marvel is gonna make Blade R-rated or PG-13 or lower?
Well, we know how Marvel is, and they'll try to make it PG-13, but
Yeah.
and we know that they don't listen to their fans, so there's that too.
Yeah. Because you look at DC, everything like that, what DC doing, because like people want a Superman movie, we get Superman Legacy. People wanted a Green Lantern show, a Green Lantern movie, we getting the Green Lantern series. If you look at it, James Gunn is making series and movies just out of everything that people wanted. If you look at it as a whole, and that just the first half of his the first half of his first chapter, he said, because he said he got other movies and shows he got doing on the back half too. And the kind of like in the back half of chapter 1, if they doing like a Green Arrow movie, like you said last year in the last 3 or 4 or that, if they do a Green Arrow movie, that would actually be good, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you look at the first half of the thing, deal with Superman, they deal with Wonder Woman, the mascara, they deal with the Authority, new characters. They're making a Blue Beetle movie that's coming out. Yeah, Blue Beetle, and plus that Booster Gold, I think gonna be a series. Because they bring your old characters out with the new, and that's actually a good mix, I think, in my opinion. That'd be a good thing. But if you look at it, why don't Marvel do the same thing? Just with their legacy characters. Just make the old characters sound like Iron Man, Captain America, sound like that, and you bring in new characters in. And this should have been make a Hawk movie, I think, in my opinion.
Right.
Because the bad thing about that is something like they say that Universal got the rights. I say Universal need to start working with people. I think, in my opinion, they need to start doing that, working with people. Because the thing about it, if you look at it, Universal don't really got no good movies coming out that can make them money. In my opinion, they don't.
Well,
And
I know that I'm also excited for that Super Mario Brothers movie too.
oh yeah, but that Super Mario movie supposed to be good. I seen the trailer. That junk look
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, same. A movie that my girlfriend is excited for is also Pup Exorcist. She's a huge horror buff, so I kind of am too because I do like the Conjuring series.
Oh, okay. Did you hear about the Alien Descent new game that came out on the trailer
No, I
that we
haven't
did last
actually.
stream? Let me bring up the trailer because they got gameplay, I think too.
You are the reason
I think they got gameplay.
We're killing all the area we can find, if that's any consolation.
Whoa, whoa! How about we just take that outside? This is a peace-loving establishment.
And kind of like for me, shoot, the official gameplay right there and stuff like that. Um, I'm about to come up with it.
Yeah.
Because that gameplay thing, that gameplay trailer, seemed like the Alien franchise is adding new lore. If you look at it as a whole, you look at it. I mean, when you look at the trailer and stuff like that, what they're doing, it seems like they got more lore to it and stuff like that, and put that add more stuff to it. In my opinion, when you look at
That's
it as a
good.
whole, and that'd be a good thing. I think, in my opinion, when games can actually add more lore to it, which I think, in my opinion, they should be able to do it. But the live action movies seem like they kind of mess it up all the time, though. Sometimes, if you look at it as a whole, in my opinion, because like for me, should them games should be better than the movie. That on the movie should be better than
So God of War
the
Ragnarok
game sometimes. But
been one of the best games so far.
yeah, and the, the because the best Alien game was Alien Isolation. Because it went back to the basics, but the game still was able. It still was able to let you fight back against the aliens at the same time, though.
Yeah.
But that game was hard, though. People say they say that game was hard to play. Oh, and this the gameplay thing right here, but it seemed like what's some stuff. That's something new. Because when you look at stuff like that, it seems like that's something new right there. Because I never seen that inside the Alien movie, and none of the Alien movies right there. And that got to be new. I think, in my opinion, it's new because I never seen that in none of the Alien movies I saw though. That one right there, and that's a new ship. I think right there too. Like me and Dark Barcode we were talking about last stream. I think that might be a new ship, or that came from other ship that was in a movie or something like that. But that could be new.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Because that seemed like the more upgraded aliens seem like, in my opinion. That don't look like a that alien looked more like the upgraded older alien, seemed like something like that, a soldier alien.
Yeah.
That don't look like a worker. That look like a soldier alien right there. That was in the older alien movies. So that, in my opinion, is how it looked like. Group game right there. That's actually a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah. And
Because
the
you look
only
at it
thing
from
that I'm kind of disappointed about Resident Evil 4 is that they made it for the newer consoles.
yeah, this actually good that they're making a real time thing. Something like it's actually good in my opinion. Just by doing that, because nobody they can't troll, they can't cheat the game or nothing like that. They got to play it
Yeah.
right as it is, everything like that. In my
Well, there are some of us that's been wanting to play a remake of it,
this look like,
but we only have like the PS4 or Xbox One.
yeah,
We haven't. Some of us haven't been able to save a lot of money to get
yeah,
a new
because
system or anything.
because they I mean when I play games, I like to play games that I like and plus I actually plan on getting, and plus I'll be on a budget.
Yeah.
I try to keep on the budget though.
Oh yeah, same here.
And some and this part looked like the 1997 first ship. You know what I mean? Like in the first movie, the Alien movie. This was
Yeah.
like the same hallway. It seemed like the reference, just the same hallway, but the alien just had break free. It seemed like it came from there. That reference right there.
Oh
If
yeah.
yeah, because think about it. If you seen like the first 2 or 3 alien movies, you kind of get references that's from the movies and stuff like that, and just how people put it inside the game and stuff like that. Because like the newer people don't really go back and look at the older movies. I say why? Because you look at the games reference the older movies most of the time and stuff like that. And that was something people don't get though most of the time though. Because the people just be think the verification just be boring and stuff like that. Just put Easter eggs in there. I say you got to put Easter eggs up for the fans though and stuff like that. For them, just the fans to be invested. I think, in my opinion. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. This a moon. But the last time it was was it a planet last time or something like that they was on rescuing people and stuff like that? Was it a planet? I think it was a planet last time, but they made this in a moon. Let people settle on the moon. It was like a ship on the moon that got crash landed. It looked good though. I actually like it. Glad the game did that. I'm glad the game did that. Because, like in my opinion, it like that. But just put the person, I think that automatically set for it. Because for like the smartest person, yeah, there might not be trouble. But for somebody who just beginning, it might be that.
Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realm.
Only if we do.
Right there. Right
The
there.
realm will never heal.
Oh
That
yeah.
that game force you to make decisions right then, because you can't go in all reckless and stuff like that. Just like it's Call of Duty, because you
Yeah.
can't go in reckless just like it's Call of Duty and stuff like that. And that would get people that play Call of Duty kind of mad most of the time with them. Because think about me, shoot, I know how to do an RPG, I know how to do fighting, I know how to do sports. I'm kind of like well rounded gamer and stuff like that. But the thing about it, some people, some people I know are just Call of Duty and army shooting games. They just go in shooting and they expect all the games to do like that, but it's not like that. And they want to be able to survive in this if they don't use strategy. I just say that. I'm glad they say death is permanent, because these people around here that troll games and stuff like that troll it, they can't troll in this game like that. Because should they try
Right.
trolling this game and they try to play around, that game over. And your squad might be dead and stuff like that, and your game be over too, way over. And everything else like that, which I don't like. But it seems like it's gonna be like that. The one that wasn't the first one though. That might be one of worker aliens right there. That's armor up. That's the soldier one. That's what it seemed like for me though. In my opinion, it's what it seemed like, but everybody different on that. I glad they said this game got side objectives, because think about it, it seemed like in my opinion, so you got to have some side weapons just to survive in this game. It seems like in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because think about side objective, it sounds like side objective give you extra armor and extra bullets and stuff like that for you to go by. But the thing about it, shoot, I hope this game could tell you just how this whole thing started inside of it. That'd be a good thing to see, though, in my opinion. Abilities, because think about it, each role, each role of the players should have different guns and different abilities to upgrade. I think, in my opinion, that should be a good thing.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion,
I agree on.
like in my opinion, I hope this game got upgrades just for each gun, for each role. I think, in my opinion, yes, it got the optimization. I'm glad they got that. I'm glad they got optimization of weapons, because if they didn't, I mean, your squad be dead inside that alien thing most of the time. So you be dead, and that's kind of like the bad, good of each thing. I think, in my opinion, and kind of like for me, and just seeing this one right here, a real time shooter with a group, that it kind of seemed like, in my opinion, that should be taking aspirations just for XCOM, but it just making it in real time and making it different. I think, in my opinion, the XCOM game and this, it sound like similar, but it's just the upgrade version of it with aliens. And what I think this might be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But these things look good too. I actually like it. It looks good. Coming out June 20th. Gotta say, shoot, man. I probably gotta save some money, man. I probably gotta save some money on that. I actually like it though. And kind of and doing like the project thing on multiverse, I look at the project on the project 30th university thing again, the trailer again.
Yeah.
Plus I saw they had they had Corn, they had the mega ship just in space, and they had Angel Grove, and they had other dimensions where Alpha just could have called the Rangers from, in my
Right.
opinion. Because they might to be named the protocol. I think the Bando protocol that had to mean that Rita went to other dimensions just trying the same thing, but she failed. And she went back to the present. I think something like that when Billy, Zach, and everybody got older. And Trini, in my opinion, just the one ended up getting killed. I think, in my opinion, something like that. Which,
Yeah.
but the thing about my opinion, which don't make sense, in my opinion, is sound like for me, in my opinion, sound like Trina actually lived in the comic books. She didn't die.
Right. I mean,
But they did it for the show. I think they did it for the show. I'm thinking, in my opinion, just for the memory of her. I think something like that, just for the memory.
yeah, yeah.
But the thing about for me, and that was me, I just would cast somebody else to play her. That's just me. They might not like me for saying it, but I would have cast another person.
That
That,
or just be your daughter to take a mental of it.
yeah, yeah. That was me or something like that. I would have said that Trini retired and Zordon just got her daughter to take over for her in her place, and she would have been still living off camera.
Yeah, plus the yellow the master with the magical power you have to use right.
Yeah,
To use
because
right.
because then if you look at it, Trini still can still living in the Parmesan universe
Her
outside
powers.
out outside retired and stuff because that's what you look at. Jason still can still morph, and he had retired for a while,
Plus two step popcorns, yeah.
and they could do the same thing because you look at Rocky and Jason got they got the same colors and plus the same Zord.
Plus Rocky Corn got destroyed but got restored by the Morphin Master, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and his coin got upgraded, I think too. Rocky coin got upgraded because of the Dino Charge team, I think,
I charge
upgraded.
I mean Ninja Steel.
Yeah,
I mean
yeah,
Ninja Steel. Then
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Ninja Steel.
Plus
His
the
coin got upgraded, I think, something like that.
plus
Because
the coin
because,
two poses now. Same color.
because oh yeah, because think about if you look at it, Rocky know how to disappear. He know how to appear as the Red Ranger and stuff like that.
Right.
It seemed like that his power coin got upgraded a little bit.
Plus if Jason with Rocky use the same Punk at the same time, can be changed to be the same Wolverine Ranger though. Before it
Yeah.
cannot because it's one that now it can.
No, no. Both of them two are Red Rangers, but the thing is, Jason could have the Tyrannosaurus, and they could have Rocky just as the ape. Remember, Rocky was also the Ninja Ranger.
Yeah, so yeah, it works. Same
Yeah.
Aisha though, right? So yeah, for
Because if
the
you look at it, they
yeah,
could have him as the ape Zord or something like that.
right.
And they can have Adam is the Black Ranger, and he could be the frog, while just like Zach be the elephant, the mammoth, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They can have the same colors, but they can have like different Zords based on the season they was on. And kind of like in my opinion, right? In my opinion, what I would see for the 30th anniversary, if they bring in other Rangers, I would bring in Time Force, Wild Force. Some people for Time Force, some people for Wild Force,
Yeah.
and some people just
Depending on
for
that part. Yeah.
and Ninja Storm. I think in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the thing about for me, if they want the project lore to just to continue, they need to bring in older Rangers with the new ones. I think something like that to bring them back to just be crossovers and stuff like that. Just to be like a continuation, sound like this one did, because they brought back Trini daughter to be the Lilla Ranger, and they could do the same thing just for other people. And kind of like for me, the perfect one will be like just Ninja Storm. I think in my opinion, could be Ninja Storm or just Jungle Fairy. I think in my opinion, they just a crossover those two.
Yeah. I agree on that part. To use more American footage of it.
Because if you look at it, Jungle Fairy always have their three best students be Rangers and stuff like that. Ninja Storm and Beast and Jungle Fairy probably can do it, in my opinion. And that was me. Because that's just me, in my opinion, what I would do. Because if you look at it, they can bring back Tori, they can bring back Dustin, but you can't bring back Shane though.
No.
Yeah.
Unless Shane had a son or a daughter or something like that.
Probably.
Right.
They can make it that.
Yeah, that would they could bring back Shane's son. I think, in my opinion, that could
If
bring
they have a kid and take over his that thing for him. It's
because think
possible.
about because if you look at it, that on the Master and Ninja Storm, um, he had a son. He could do the same thing for Shane. I think, in my opinion, and he could be like the first Indian Ranger. I think something like that. That for India to
Yeah.
come into the Project franchise. If you look at it, but the thing is, who gonna be the mother though? Unless they don't show her. Because if you look at it, Shane's son will be already grown. If you look at it, based on the
Yep.
season he came from, Shane's son will already be grown, and he just could come in and help out the older Rangers that were Blue and Lula, in my opinion, and bring back Cam. That'd be a good thing. Bring back Master G, Hunter, and Blake. And if they don't want to come back to it, they bring their kids back in or something like that, and just try to show. Let's
Yeah.
write it like that. Or they could bring in like Mass Rider, Kamen Riders, or some other just another franchise to cross over with Power Rangers to help them out,
Right.
and that could bring in a whole other fan base, in my opinion. If you bring in a '90s Mass Rider and bring
Right.
in and
Yeah.
bring him in the crossover with Power Rangers, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. I agree on that
Because you
part.
look at the yeah, because you look at the one that was in the '90s crossover, Mask Rider and Power Rangers combined together. That was one of the best crossovers they're doing Zordon era, I think, in my opinion. That's stuff in my opinion. And then they bring back Ninjor, I think, in my opinion, to train some of these Rangers. I think, in my opinion, if Ninjor was a teacher, he'd be a good one. I think, in my opinion. And kind of like for me, shoot, I do think that he actually bringing in new Rangers. I think, in my opinion, he is.
I'm getting really
In my
tired.
opinion, shoot, that's what I think he's doing, but I might be wrong. But shoot, I think that Ninja is bringing in new people, which I think, in my opinion, he is. Do you think he's bringing in new people and stuff like that? Ninja, if you bring him back in a crossover,
Yeah, Fortune Lucifer, yeah.
Yeah.
be, because the thing about me, in my opinion, what I'll be seeing, like based on the Ninja and stuff like that, I'll be seeing, shoot, Ninja really just on edge. He just like a sentient being that help out Zordon just with the popcorn, and, and he like he like the lady that's in the Mandalorian show, the Smith, that lady that make the helmets in the Mandalorian show. He got her role seen, like, in my opinion, because think about it, he make the power coins with Zordon and stuff like that. That's what I think he like too, in my opinion, and stuff like that. Because you look at the lady that's in the Mandalorian, the blacksmith that's in the Mandalorian, and plus you compare him to Ninja, they sound like the same character if you look at it as a whole. And kind of like the last thing that I want to talk about before this stream over is do you think that the Cobra Kai last season is gonna be good?
I don't know. I really haven't been watching too much of Cobra Kai because I stick to like watching Arrow and stuff like that. Because
Yeah, they got 5 seasons of Cobra Kai already out though. The 6th season ain't coming out till later. Because to the first 5 seasons I saw Cobra Kai, that actually was a good season though. It actually was good. And the thing about, I think after this last season, they might start making movies. I think uh, of this show. I think, in my opinion, because if you look at it, they gotta have to show how the Cobra Kai people live outside of the just the dojo and stuff like that. Because you look at Daniel, Daniel still was training, but that's what he still had to learn how to assimilate himself and with regular people,
The one built by Judy the General.
in my opinion. And plus, shoot, after this season, Cobra Kai might be might be A minus. My lowest is a C plus. That's kind of
yeah,
like my rating for it. Before the show come out, it might be a C plus to an A minus, depending on the writing of the season. Just in my opinion, that's what I worry about. I worry about the writing. I worry about the directing and fight choreography and stuff like that. And, and plus, I worry about who the villain gonna be. Because you never know who gonna be the villain, who might be like in between, who might be a spy, stuff like that for the other dojo, and that's kind of thing that I just gonna learn sometime. Because you look at everybody. That's what I learned just doing the Cobra Kai show and stuff like that, and kind of seeing like the Daniel and plus the other character, Johnny character had actually grew up a lot. He got better throughout the series because that he went for a bully, he went for a bum on the street, and he went for doing better, everything like that. So that's what I seen and stuff like that. The dude, because you look at the Johnny character multiverse on just on Cobra Kai, look at him just for season 1, all with a season 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that. His character grew tremendously, and he had good character development. more than the MCU characters did, who who, who had 10 years
Right.
in kind of MCU. Because you look at the Johnny character and every else character throughout the seasons, their characters get better, and you get to know about the reason why, like just like the way he is and stuff like that. Because it show flashbacks when he was younger, everything like that. It's good. It's good. Everything else like that. It's really good, in my opinion. And currently, multiverse that on Justin the Cobra Kai show come out. Do y'all want me to review it one by one or just by the whole season?
Just do by the whole season.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that part.
Okay. Because think about it, shoot. Because I just like to ask people how they want it sometimes, because they might some people like it by episode based on the franchise. Sometimes they like by episode, and some people like the whole season. But I agree with that though. Do by the whole season. Because like the last time I do the episode, the Power Ranger one, shoot, I stopped at episode 10, but shoot, I got to find my episode 11 through 16. I did, cause shoot, if I can't find my episodes I did and record and stuff like that, I did everything like that. I gotta have to do them over.
Right.
And so I hate that junk. I hate doing that because shoot, because the playlist I got 1 through 10, I did those, and plus I already had recorded and did them. But
And I did talk to Odysseus, and he said that he can have the Multiverse Ranger guest star whenever he is ready to work with me. So my character might end up working with you. You might be working with a brooding guy, a brooding ranger. Has two forms: a vigilante form and a ranger form.
So you never know up in there who your friends is half of the time. Your face until you actually be up in a situation with people and stuff like that. And I learned that you learn who your friends or situation come up and stuff like that. A good and a bad at the same time. Because I wasn't in college and school, man. Just man, you pretty much figure out who your friends is, and plus online, you figure out who your subs is, who your real friends at the same time. Say okay, and that's okay, because so you start talking behind my back, and you expect to be my friend and stuff like that. No, man, that junk don't go like that. Because shoot, I might be your friend and stuff like that, but that's what I might not trust some certain stuff, everything like that.
Right.
In my opinion. And thing about the friends that just I am close to and other people jealous of, I say, I say to myself, shoot, I'm not about to talk to you just after you went behind my back and did stuff. Come on now, that don't make no sense. In my opinion, about that. Come on, now that don't make sense in my opinion. Tell us you expect to come back, be my friend, and you expect me to trust you the same way I did before? No, I'm not gonna trust you the same way. That don't make no sense. That makes no sense, in my opinion. And plus the thing about for me, the Peacemaker show, everything like that. I think the Peacemaker season 2 might be better than the first one. I think, in my opinion. And based on James Gunn actually writing it too, because James Gunn did on season 1 of Peacemaker. Because you look at the difference in James Gunn and Kevin Feige style. James Gunn is actually ready to get his hands dirty and write shows and movies and stuff like that, just for his universe. Kevin Feige, so you can't really name one movie he actually directed and write, or he actually helped with the process and stuff like that. Most of the time, I can't really name one, unless it's the Iron Man movie. That's the only one I think he probably did and helped with. But the rest of them, I'm not sure, and stuff like that. In my opinion, and
Yeah.
kind of like for everybody under five, if you couldn't rate it, if you oh, if y'all could have rate the episode of Battle Fury that y'all heard and stuff like that, what would you rate it, a 1 through 5 or something like that? If y'all could.
I say for as long as the episode was, and with it being
Yeah.
all voice acting, I give the first episode at least a 8 out of 10. I'm actually wanting to see the other episodes though too.
Okay. Okay.
They are.
Barcode. What you give it? Okay.
I give it 8 for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay. Because the thing about it, shoot, when I was doing it for the first episode, I was actually nervous for the thing. I just sitting there thinking that it probably was bad or something like that.
No,
Because I thought it was
it
bad.
was
I
good.
said, I'll try.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Because thing about it, too, I was waiting on the stories. I was just waiting on script for episode 2 and 3 and stuff like that, everything like that. And because I just I get advice just from people like I know some like you, multiverse and stuff like that, based on the script, everything like that. It based on the characters and script I'll be seeing. Because that actually was good. I think in my opinion I did good, but at first just I heard it. I say, shoot, that's pretty good. Because just I know what actors because like an actor here who do like voice acting and stuff like that, they always think it'd be bad just until they hear it for themselves and stuff like that. And everything else like that. And shoot, I know what they're going through and stuff like that. And do y'all got anything just to promote Barcode and Multiverse?
For me, no, actually.
Nothing like not really nothing to such that I've
Okay.
been doing what I've been trying to do, just trying to hang in there.
Okay. If you need anybody to interview or stuff like that, for the story or something like you gonna be doing, I'll be willing to do it if you need somebody just to promote it in an interview style or something like that. I'll be I'll be willing to do it if you want me to do it or something like that. Once you finish. And kind of like for YouTube and Twitch, I'll see y'all later and see y'all next time, y'all.
All right.
Good thing we didn't miss this.